massive wagwan. Andrew Robinson in Jamaica, brother, they are reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, massive.
Budaki aliniambia nike mbali na ye due to the rain atungevuka hiyo terrain. Me ndo the main na kuna mwere ana mlain. Acha nimdishi kupesa unajua siezi pain. Kifo imejaa moshi kila sana itajibita. Nikana asma nimekimbia mita. Kila kituoni wanadai mimi mziza. Nikane lazima kushika mzinga. Ulikuwa poa before kutinga. Ulikuwa naokoa ukashindwa kulinda. Sena roro unajiona umefika. Headshot nikanilipa boa kupiga. Hapo ukibonga mbaya unaweza uliwa. Pia ukibanja sana utashukiwa. Tulia usiforce baraka utafikiwa. Si mganga na roga hapa unasikiza siwa. Unalala kwa mtarono na moko. Alejandro nasikia una moko. Kwanza sema no. Kwanza sema no tuyo ujinga.
Unapiga simu bila pesa mfukoni. Ukifika simu not performing.
Kwanza sema no. Kwanza sema no tuyo ujinga.
Hati kutumia dondo ukuje unione. I'm the wrong don, I'm not that lonely. Hata kama ni show you got nothing on. Uliza manika jijo from Kilifi. Homie yo, Mr. Politician, where's the solution? Kutoka ni kwa newborn, same condition. You may change constitution, change ama pollution. Poor living condition, bias distribution. Flagrant is your friend bila way. Niki sense masanse, mimi shaze. Na washikisha rengo kinisaka Karen. When is charge, when is saka bench. It's special treatment sababu na trend. Tebu nikuulize wamekuandikia check. Ni reality check hata ikwantaje. Unalipiwa rent unaniambiaje.
Unalala kwa mtaro na una moko. Alejandro nasikia una moko. Kwanza sema no. Kwanza sema no tuyo ujinga.
Unapiga simu bila pesa mfukoni. Ukifika simu not performing.
Kwanza sema no. Kwanza sema no tuyo ujinga. Unalala kwa mtaro na una moko. Alejandro nasikia una moko. Kwanza sema no.
Kwanza sema no tuyo ujinga.
Unapiga simu bila.
Yes, karibuni sana family to another beautiful episode of the Wednesday Lockdown Session. This is the Black Hot Fan Network radio station, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. 14 minutes past 1 p.m. We are late, but we are glad that we did manage to make it right here, and of course bring you the broadcast and the episode of today of the Wednesday Lockdown Session. Karibuni sana. I go by the name Joby for those who are listening for the first time, and of course a quick shout out to everyone with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on the radio station, on Spreaker Live, those who catch the shows on Spotify. We hope you guys get to enjoy the shows, and also for those who are live with me on Rumble and on the show page, and also on TikTok. I see Freedom Media in the building. Karibu sana. Baby girl, nice to see you. Shout out to King Kobu in the building. Shout out to Joy King in the building. Shout out to John Mike. Shout out to the Maraboza. Karibu sana, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far on this amazing, wonderful Wednesday. Today we shall be talking about Niger. Niger has been literally my topic. Basically, the West Africa has been major topics of this week. On Monday, I began by where we saw Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. They did withdraw from ECOWAS, and which is something very positive. That's how the week started, with a lot of positivity. We saw yesterday, Niger, after actually all this withdrawal, they were attacked, whereby more than 20 people were killed yesterday by unknown jihadists. And this has always been the case since for the last 15 years in the Niger country. And we've seen the AU, the UN, the EU, all of them participating in terms of maintaining peace in this particular region, but nothing has changed. And so far, so good. We've seen they have managed to withdraw from organizations like the EU, the AU. We can see them withdrawing also from the European Union and chasing away all these people, and a lot more of this. So we shall be talking about this. And today, it is amazing to come out with a positive result. Despite them trying to attack the Nigerians, they are still going hard and trying to protect what belongs to them. And we have $100 million worth gold that has been seized in Ethiopia, going all the way to Dubai, and this actually is coming from Niger. So we shall be talking about that, and it is quite positive to see this happening. The other time I did speak about Sierra Leone, where we saw the minister, anti-corruption minister, who came out and actually exposed the 8.4 billion amount of money that was stolen by these selected puppets and all that. So we shall be debating about this, and I hope you guys get to enjoy the show of the day. I'll be getting back to the music one more time, and of course this is by the one and only Young Lunya, and I hope you guys get to dive into that. And we shall be coming back with the quote of the day as we get started. I also want to talk about what is happening with Ethiopia and Italy. Literally, majority of the focus shall be going to the West Africa, but I'll be coming back with the news and updates of what Italy has actually done. This is to Ethiopia, where it actually is also, which is actually also part of our conversation of the day. Young Lunya coming in with a freestyle, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this. And karibuni sana to the Wednesday Lockdown Session.
Yes, massive. All right. Andrew Robinson here to make
They fire here. Come as for your tailor, could you I'm taking what we're up to the next level. Big
up to Jeff in the building. Big up to you, Zaba39. Shout out to Samson. Shout out to Freedom Media with us in the building. And I see Jeff is asking Uneza Nita interview. Yes, you can kindly DM us. That is under the Blackout Fan Network Instagram page. Rather right here on TikTok, or rather call us. That is also push up a text that is on 0705 428 That is our WhatsApp number. Tuambie when msanii wa aina gani. Send us our YouTube link so you can check and review your music, and of course we'll give you the steps forward to follow from there.
That's my dream team.
Big up to Saro. Shout out to Cantona. Big up to user 16. Welcome to the Wednesday Lockdown Session. Shout out to Jenny. Karibuni sana all of you. This is the Blackout Fan Network radio station, media of the 21st century. 18 minutes past 1 p.m. I mean, what have you having for lunch, Manze? We just here bringing you vibes and trying to make you guys stay woke. Big up to Maggie.
Calm down, relax, sit back. Misha make you a damn one Simba Simba. Kwa kukinukisha nimelikalisha kimba. Panya paka kafika cha kukushauri chini. Fika paka walipo, fata pesa zilipo. Piga pini pande zote, hallelujah walipo. Blandi kubwa Filipo, setishwi na vitisho. Vina vimepangiliwa mwanzo kati na mwisho. Nafanya jamba, get on facts to give. Fighting for my life to live. Nipo studio wanna wait to let's got to live. Shida yako weni wa kitabu mechakatatis. First heart, couple letter hand, I'm taking a shot for these. Going back to back, he's back to back. He's back to back, right back to back. Keep it black to black, cool as kid no black. Kuna poka na kuleta blah blah to tack. Na manya nazi kufanya nazi kusanya nazi kuhanya nazi wakanya naji.
Shout out to Lucy. Yes, and my quote of the day is a Wednesday wisdom quote. It says, believe in yourself. You only fail if you quit. Embrace the change. Happiness is from within. Smile more.
I'ma take you off for your birthday.
Yes, and of course, karibuni sana once again. This is the Wednesday Lockdown Session, and karibuni sana to today's conversation. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. Big up to Grace Gathi in the building, and to everyone listening to me via the radio station, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble, wherever you are streaming live with us from. Kindly remember to follow us on whatever handle you're also streaming live with us from. Follow us also on the rest of our social media handles. We are on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, everywhere literally where you can be able to check us out, and also kindly join us officially through also our website that is on the www.blackoutfanetwork.com, which gives you a chance also to explore and post anything you find informative to us. That is on the social page. We're also live on the show page, and where you can also be able to conversate with me, especially on Fridays or every time we having explicit conversation that we can't share right here on TikTok or rather right here on YouTube. Karibuni sana once again, and I hope you guys get to enjoy the conversation of the day. Now, starting with the conversation of the day, of course, like I said, I want to start with Ethiopia and what Italy has finally done. This week, I think, or last week, we did discuss of us seeing the British Museum, that is the Victoria, and if I can't remember the other one, there were two British museums, and which we saw that these museums, when they stole the artifacts that they stole from Africa, they did actually put on a law that permanently does not allow African countries to possess back their artifacts or any stolen worth kind of any stolen worth kind of a thing that came from Africa. So we saw this happening, and we saw Ghana being loaned back one of their artifacts. I can't remember clearly I think it was a sword or something like that, and which was really, really crazy. We've seen Africans debating on this on TikTok. We've seen so many YouTube reaction videos coming from different Pan-Africanist journalists and all that, and it should be called out, and it should be called out heavily by the whole continent, whereby we should be seeing all the artifacts that were stolen back here in the continent, which are literally being used to make money off us as well, because we go there to study our history. Oh, this came from Kenya, this came from here. It should all come back to the continent and let us explore freely and learn a lot from this. But it is crazy to see that actually it's not just Ghana that is being loaned this. So many African countries, I think, and countries will end up being in this position. I'm not sure which one is next. We're gonna see if it is gonna be Kenya, because of us borrowing so much money. If we're gonna have to loan something for us to hold for some moment, and then we return it back. But it's amazing to report that right now we can see Italy, it has handed back something they stole in 1935. And this is actually the first ever aeroplane that Ethiopia came up with. And they're saying that Ethiopia Premier says that the first anti-craft built in Ethiopia in 1935 has been handed back to the country by Italy. It had been taken during the Italy's fascist era, during the occupation of what was then Abyssinia, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and eventually going on display with the Italian Aviation Museum in Rome. It was formally given to Prime Minister Abiy Mohammed, and that was at a ceremony that was conducted in Rome, and he said it marked a day of great pride for the country, which I do heavily agree. But I want to know what is the main reason why it took too long for them to be given this back, and it's their first ever artifact. And why this had just to happen in Rome, because mind you, we have the Italy Africa summit that is being conducted right now, and we've seen President William Ruto is one of the presidents that have attended. The Ethiopian president also seems to be one of the people who also attended, and of course this is why they are being credited back this. In Ethiopia, as we talk right now, majority of the regions are not in peace, and we've been seeing the conflict happening between Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia itself. And this is a conflict funded and being operated by the same people we're going to listen to. It is crazy, but I want to follow much deeper about this. But this is something positive to start with as we start with the conversation of the day. And I'm glad to see Africans possessing back what is theirs, what they first, found, because we are the beginning of civilization, and all this civilization has been taken away from us. And as much as they try to come up with different ideas of getting into our civilization, they still can't literally knock it out. They can't still figure it out. But then they're saying also, they're adding that known as Teshia, the green, yellow, red and yellow aircraft is said to have been named after an empire, the empire that is Haile Selassie's daughter. And this is something positive for the country, but I want to follow why they were given this back. What is the main reason why it had to take so much time? Because I'm certain if you have to follow back in history, probably the country has been, trying to get this aircraft back in the country, but it has been super impossible. So we need to understand, not take this as a shallow thing. Everything has an agenda, especially where we have white people involved. So, and considering that the fact that this guy just attended Italy Africa Summit, so it doesn't come out so positive, but it is positive as well. But that is what is happening in Ethiopia. Moving on, I also want to talk about what is happening in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because like I said, my focus of this day today shall be mainly focused on this particular part, and this week has been focused on this particular part. So we saw on Monday, waking up to Monday, that was on Sunday, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger did withdraw from ECOWAS, and of course this came out after them saying that the reason why they are withdrawing is because the founding of this organization was to be a Pan-Africanist organization that deals with African matters on bettering the economy of Africa. But apparently, right now, it's totally doing different, where there's so much filth and corruption, and which I highly support them, because you can see right now Tinubu, who is the CEO, I don't know if he's a CEO or the chairperson of, let me see, which particular seat does he hold? Tinubu, okay. Which position does Tinubu hold on ECOWAS? Okay, so yeah, he's the president. Actually, he was sworn in May as the president of Africa's largest economy, and of course, we've seen him coming forth and being part of the people who are highly preventing and blocking Burkina Faso from, trying to move to a democratic, country, being an independent country. And literally these three Western African countries, we've seen Tinubu being one of the people who are pushing the motion to Antonio Guterres, and telling them we're gonna sanction you if you don't do this and this and this. We're giving you a time limit. If you don't change, this is gonna happen. So it is super, super crazy. But right now we can see actually an expression that has been given by the African Union. Of course, we discussed this yesterday, debated a little bit about the African Union, where we need to understand the founding. And we saw that this was formed by Ethiopia again. Yeah, Addis Ababa. I can't remember the year correctly, but when they found this, we had 39 countries at that time that were independent. And later on, they were joined by other 20 plus more countries. And that this is when they came up with the formation of the African Union. But we questioned how it has been perfecting and organizing in Africa, because like what Ruto said, the African Union should be the representative of the rest of the continent, but barely. None of this gets to happen. Literally, none of this gets to happen at all. So we've seen nothing but just the opposite of the expectation of us as a continent, which has not been it's not been fulfilled the way it is expected. But the African Union, that was yesterday, said it feels deep regret over the withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali, and the ECOWAS bloc. And of course, the African Union said the African Union said its commission president, who goes by the name Moussa Faki, calls on the regional leaders to intensify the dialogue between the ECOWAS leadership and the three aforementioned countries, which are on Sunday accused the West bloc of posing threats on their sovereignty. They have been doing so. The instant we saw Niger attaining independence through democracy, immediately Tinubu cut off the powers. Immediately Tinubu called out on Niger to stop doing whatever they are doing. Immediately we saw the West coming out, France accusing Niger of, trying to cause chaos to the civilians and all that. They won't say what they have been doing, is what they're trying to say, But they're also adding that it is also indicated that the African Union Commission was willing to provide all the assistance in its power for the success of the logic of fraternal dialogue, far from the external interference from wherever they come. On Sunday, the leaders of the three Sahel nations issued a statement saying it was a sovereign decision to leave the economic community of West Africa states without delay. And that is what we should see the rest of these other leaders. Immediately when you are selected by the people, not by the foreign powers and the West, you should be withdrawing from all these foreign powers immediately. with no debates, with no delay. We want to do this because this is our one way. We see this is better for us. We've been trying your own way, thank you, for decades, but it's not been working. So let us try our own way. And that is what basically these three countries are basically talking about. And all the three founding members of the bloc that was in 1975. They brought up the year after me saying I can't remember. And was suspended from ECOWAS, with Niger and Mali facing heavy sanctions as the bloc tried to push for the early return of civilian government with elections. The sanctions were an irrational and unacceptable posture at a time when the three have decided to take their destiny in hand, and which is amazing. I mean, look at these three countries are right now developing economically, growing massively crazy. I read an article on Monday on the Africa Today show, and what we were reading there, it is crazy when they say Congo is developing economically, while this country is literally being pressed and depressed so that they can literally continue extracting resources so that the rest of the world can benefit. And which is also a caution to Kenya. Story for another day, not for now. We leave it at that. So yes, all three countries, members of the bloc that was formed in 1975, were suspended from ECOWAS, with Niger and Mali facing heavy sanction in the bloc, and tried to push for the early return of civil government with election. And the sanctions were irrational and unacceptable posture at a time when the three have decided to take their destiny in their hands, and a reference to the coups that removed civilian administration. And the three nations have hardened their positions in recent months and joined forces in an alliance of Sahel states. ECOWAS would issue its own statement saying it was yet to receive any direct formal notifications from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic about the intention to withdraw the community. They said we need to. This is for our own sovereign decision. This is our sovereign decision, and we need to do it without delay. So why do you need explanation from me, Tinubu, to explain to you I'm withdrawing from something that has not been working since 1975? Like it was posed yesterday, this is an organization that was created to move in a Pan-Africanist way, a Pan-Africanism way, and to make the economy of Africa become better. But look at the economy of Africa today, and even the West Africa, literally. Very, very damaged. Very, very crazy. Very crazy. The commission said it had been working assiduously with these countries for the restoration of constitutional order. Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali remain important members of the community, and the authorities remain committed to finding a negotiated solution to the political impasse. And the ECOWAS Commission remains seized with the development and shall make further pronouncements as the situations evolve. That is what is happening, and I don't want to discuss much more of what is happening on that article, but continue having a deep regret again. I'm glad that Niger, this is amazing. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful to see every day waking up to positive news from these three Western African countries, which we've lacked, and we're fighting so hard, demonstrating about trying to get, while it is easily and can be easily solved. Very easily. We just need young-minded people like this who understand what unity is all about. Teach the people, educate the people, because the power is the people. And once you have the people supporting you, there's nothing you can't be able to defeat. Just see what's literally these three countries. I think we should give them just a span of 5 years, or even 3 years. We're going to see massive changes. The next Rwanda, more even better Rwanda, and a much more better South Africa, because I have no other African country to relate to. Sorry, I literally don't. But that is what is happening, and of course, I'll be keeping you guys updated throughout the week of what if Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger shall respond to ECOWAS, which I bet and I hope they won't, because this is a decision that should have been made long time ago, the moment we saw changes of this organization, how they were formed to work, not being applied. And of course, moving on to much more matters, I want to talk about again Niger Like I promised, the focus of the day today is much focused on the West African parts of the country. And this is actually, again, something positive, where we can see them expelling the European Union. It's bit by bit, them actually taking over their country and taking complete control of their country. It is something positive to see. Niger's junta has expelled 15 members of the European Union capacity building mission. It's called the UCAP, in brackets, the European Union capacity building mission. And they're saying, according to the country's interior minister, who goes by the name General Mohammed, the individuals had returned to the NEMI on various flights. That was on 24th of January. I mean, the audacity, without informing the government. The audacity these people have. We are the UN peacekeepers being chased out, and we saw them leaving. I don't know if they completely left all of them the country. Let's see. As Niger chased away all the UN peacekeepers. Okay, so let's see. How UN peacekeepers accidentally? No. Okay, I'm not sure. I can't see any article that can lead me to that right now without wasting much of the time. But I'm not sure if they did manage to chase away the whole group. But I know the 3 countries have been doing amazing in trying to literally evacuate and get rid of these people. Let me say, they're getting rid of the UN peacekeepers, the European Union, the AU, and withdrawing from all these fake organizations that are formed in the name of protecting Africa. But that was on 24th of January, and of course they had some audacity of coming in with flights without informing the government. You know, he confirmed that they were ejected from Niger days later on 26th of January. So it took immediately 2 days for them to be, removed from this particular place. So Niger has been ruled by a junta since July. Of course, we know that. And according to Niger, the European Union capacity building mission comprises of 120 security officers helping to booster Niger's forces, and was terminated in December after more than a decade of working together. And the junta has indicated its intention to downgrade military ties with European countries while diversifying links with countries such as Russia and Iran. I mean, because you've not been giving these people proper weapons to deal with the situations you are the ones who came up with. You are the ones who want to bring us a solution, and which you never do. Hegelian dialectic again being applied there. We've not seen any of these the foreign powers literally trying to help every African country that has claimed we have terrorism, we have jihadists, unknown kidnappings in any form or way. So this is amazing. And they're saying Niger's anti-West rhetoric has also raised questions about future of U.S. troops stationed at the drone base in the northern city of Al-Geza, something like that. But yes, that is what is happening there. And of course, I hope you guys can let me know what are your thoughts regarding this and on those matters. So far, so good. You can see Ethiopia getting back its aircraft. We can see Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso sticking with them withdrawing from ECOWAS. We can see more European Union members being withdrawn from this particular this country, and which is something positive to report this particular afternoon and morning on your end. Shout out to Kiki. Siwezi soma hiyo mbele. Karibu sana. Shout out to John Mosquito as well. A good rising to you too. Hope you are doing amazing this wonderful afternoon from my end, and wherever the time is on your end. We were talking about Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and it's something positive that I was just discussing. So you can catch the rest of the replay in case you have joined in just right now. But of course, I want to share this video as we get to continue. onto what is happening. So we've seen that we have gold that has been retrieved, that is in the Enroute of Dubai, Enroute to Dubai, Ethiopia Enroute to Dubai, sorry. And this is coming from Niger, and that is
Here is your latest Africa news.
$100 million worth of gold. And I'm not surprised this is actually still happening, because this is why we can see, connect back to what I just read now. This is why we can see a group of people coming in with flights without even informing the government, and we don't know what we're left with, because I'm not sure if, of course, right now there's proper counter checking. I'm certain that Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso know what they are dealing with. So there's proper counter checking of who's popping in the country. What are you living with? What are you coming with? Are you coming to kill us? Are you coming to plant a bomb? Are you living with our seeds? Are you living with our soil? What is it? So I'm certain that they have not left with anything. But I'm not surprised this is still happening, because some regions we know they're still very captured by these unknown jihadists that the US has been unable, with the help of the UN, the EU, the AU, failed to do. So let me share this very quickly. This was something positive again to see. And I'm glad that this week it has been literally an amazing week of seeing unveiling. Even the age of there's a lot of unveiling happening for real. You know, the anti-corruption minister of Sierra Leone coming up and, you know, traveling all that amount of money. And now this, it is amazing. So let me share this very quickly.
Video of a staggering $100 million in gold from Niger being seized in Ethiopia while en route to Dubai has gone viral.
John Mosquito, get out of here. Yep, so that is how much
Niger's interim president, General Abdurrahmani.
That is how much, well, you've seen, it's literally a lot. $100 million worth of gold.
Tian has ordered the immediate suspension of all mining licenses in the nation. This decision comes in the wake of the seizure of 2,400 kilograms of gold bars, valued at an estimated $100 million, originating from Niger and intercepted in Ethiopia on its way to Dubai, as reported this week. According to local media, the confiscated gold lacked official backing to legitimize the means by which it was obtained by its owners. Additionally, it was reported that approximately 100 individuals from various official institutions associated with Niamey Airport, the departure point of the gold shipment, were dismissed.
Exactly. So it is all connected. So like I said, it is all connected. We had individuals who returned with a naming on various flights. That was on 24th of January. And that was without informing the government. Then we have gold that has been retrieved. Ethiopia Enroute to Dubai. So it's just it's all connecting. The dots are connecting. And this is crazy. And I'm glad to see. I'd love to understand the formality they have used to literally track this down. This is super something. This is just amazing. This is beautiful to see. I'd love to know the strategy, the criteria that we've seen so many African selected leaders have failed to do when it comes to following the matters of corruption, stolen money, stolen goods. They never have any organization to take us through all these procedures and how they do it. So this is beautiful. I wish they can tell us how they did it. I wish literally we can have Ibrahim Traore coming out and speaking out like what really happened, what conspired in this.
Missed from their positions as a preventive measure. In recent years, Niger's government has granted permits for mineral prospecting, with a total investment of $232 million covering various minerals such as gold, coal, manganese, lithium, and copper. Niger has suffered significant financial losses due to illicit minerals smuggling and unfavorable trade deals negotiated by
And Kenya is about to do so, because we have 6 counties again that have been discovered. We have Colton and oh my, Watu Wakwito. I don't know, man. I pity. I pity. Because I think most of the places I've seen, ni wase ata wengi sijui kama wanaelewa nini inaendelea hata kwa mtandao. I don't know if they have any idea, any clue of how politics works, how the system runs, what is even happening to the world. I don't know. But we're here to watch how it's gonna happen. But Kenya is about to be in that situation. We're about to face a massive destruction.
Governments. However, with the new leadership, it appears that there is a positive shift in the situation. Let us know in the comments below if you...
Yes, and of course, that is what is happening. And even now, when it's the lockdown session, I want to go through the comments of what people had to say. And I saw one of the comments right here. It was saying that Ethiopia intercepting the smuggling of gold out of Africa is what all African countries should be doing. Excuse me, it was not Ethiopia. I'm certain this is something to do with Niger. I'm certain Ethiopia actually is probably helping Dubai to get this gold through to their country. Because why is it being enrouted through Ethiopia? Like, why is it going via Ethiopia? All the way from Niger to Ethiopia to Dubai? I mean, is it making sense to you that Ethiopia is the one that is actually helping Niger to do this? No, I kind of disagree with that. But yes, they say Ethiopia intercepting the smuggling of gold out of Africa is what all African countries should be doing. Of course, Ethiopia, we've seen again, the president is in on a trip to Italy and Rome. So make that make sense. That's not making sense to me. But African countries should be looking out for each other. That is true. I agree. No African country should stand by and watch thieves from outside the continent and their local enable steal our African resources with impunity. Every African has a duty. Every African has a duty to protect African resources from looters. And he also adds, thank you, Ethiopia, for intercepting with the smuggling of all that. What I disagree with on this comment is just, I don't know if it's a he or she saying that Ethiopia has been the one that has intercepted in this. I don't believe Ethiopia has done anything, but adding to the fact that African countries should be looking out on each other. Because I remember this being reported by Katie on the African Diary, where we saw President William Ruto saying that he shall not interfere in what is happening in DRC Congo. He shall not promote any arrest of anyone or none of that. So, yeah, that showcased how they have failed to literally, how Kenya has failed to protect its neighboring country, which is DRC Congo. Because it's not that far. It's not really that far as people assume. It's not far. We are neighbors. It's just the borders that make it look like we are not neighbors, but we are neighbors. But yes, that is what is happening. That is one of the comments. Let me read that 2-3 of them as we get to continue. They say one of them also says, who goes by the name Joseph. There is plenty of gold going in Dubai, in Mumbai illegally. All mining license in West Africa through the Sahel should be reviewed, revoked, and potentially nationalized. That is true. I agree with that. And literally, so should the rest of the African countries follow these suits. Let Kenya right now, the fact that we've discovered coltan in Kitui, in Embu. I'm not sure if, I think I saw Kisii somewhere, but there are 6 counties. Let Kenya actually go ahead and review all these mining license, and so should the rest of the African countries review all of them, revoke them, and then nationalize this. Let us understand who is actually even in control of these mining centers, because majority of the companies even operating here, they're not even African companies. They're not. You see Chinese, Indians, Chinese, Indians, Asians are the ones who are literally coming and flocking these mining centers and using our people, paying them peanuts. These people go home with literally the most, I think, is $2, because I've never heard of anyone who speaks more than $2 of earning from a mining site. And have I seen it? Yes, I've seen it too. Majority of these people even don't know and understand the worth of the resources we have. What are you contributing to? What is it that you're digging? What is the worth of this? Why am I being told to extract a resource from the ground? Can I understand the benefit of it and why I'm doing it? If so, yes. Is it going to benefit me equal as you, as much as we do it? If so, yes. But majority of the cases is where our African people are used to extract these resources. It's not African companies operating. There's no any legal, because you'll find even majority of these licenses are even fake, because it's Africa. Corruption is the #1 leading key to everything you want. You just need to be corrupt and you're good to go, babe. You're good to go. Very good to go. So it is super, super crazy, but I'm glad what Joseph is saying. That is something that should be taken very heavy and should be very applied, that there's plenty of gold, not just actually going to Dubai, going to so many different nations, apart from Africa itself benefiting from it. And all this mining license, not only from the West, but the continent itself, should be reviewed, revoked, and potentially nationalized. Another one says, can one imagine how much has already been stolen over these many, many years? So many. That is Rogers who asked that. So many of them. So many have been stolen. So many resources, we can't even count. I mean, perfect example, I don't even want to ask about Niger, because so far we know that they have been trying to maintain peace for the last 15 years. But if you look at DRC Congo, it's been decades. And by the help of just the fellow neighbor, 2 neighbors, and they have the audacity of always defending themselves. No, we don't know, we are not involved, we don't know what is happening. We don't even have, we don't have no clue. We're just trying to help as you. And this is why we have our people there deployed. And which is a lie. So yes, they have stolen so much resources. We can't even fathom. We can't even imagine. And also another one who goes by the name Professor Bland says, it is time for Africa to start keeping their wealth and building their own empire for the sake of the people. That is true. But who are we trusting to do this? That is the #1 question. Are we trusting Ruto, who says, I don't want to be summoned anymore. I don't want to attend any of these meetings anymore. What needs to happen is that the African Union chairman and the CEO of this and this and this, 5 representatives and 7, let's say at least 7, that is what he said, I'm quoting him, 7 should attend these meetings, these summits, and come and inform us what is happening. But we tend to forget the formality of the African Union. As much as we had the nations involved, the participations of the, let me call it a participation. Who controls and rules the order and the law there? That's why we pose that. So it is super, super crazy and amazing at the same time to just see all this. I can't wait to see Africa just transform. It's going to be something beautiful. From all this to positivity. It's crazy. It is crazy. And another one, last but not least of the comments are from this particular information. Let me find another one. There's another one who goes by the name Fred, says that revolution, the revelation of $100 million worth of gold en route to Dubai raises concerns, urging Dubai to collaborate with African nations. Recognize the global South's rising influence is crucial. A failure to engage constructively could strain the Emirates' relationship with Africa. It is in Dubai interest to address such issues of a given significant value involved. If I got that correctly, no. We don't need no debate with no Arab nations. Okay? First, if you're talking about any collaboration, all of this nonsense you pinned down, that is Fred, it's not what we need. We do not need, again, Africa collaborating with anyone. Africa needs each other, just like the first comment I read. Kenya needs Ghana. Ghana needs Nigeria. Nigerian is Niger. It's crazy how these countries, it was one country, Niger, and actually they were combined, yeah. But now they call each other different names, because of the white man. It is crazy, but that is what is happening over there. And I had to share that particular video, and I'm glad to see what Niger is doing, because I can't say it is Ethiopia. That is according to me. Maybe you guys have your own thoughts, and you can also let me know. I don't feel like it is actually Niger that has done this. It is not. I mean, not Ethiopia, not Niger, but Ethiopia. I don't feel like it is Ethiopia that has helped retrieve this gold back to the country that it was stolen from. Niger is right now very, very keen on what they're doing, and it is something amazing to literally see happening. But moving on again, I want to talk about also what is happening still in the West African countries, and I think Cameroon is in the West, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we had a deadly attack over there, and this is crazy to see that right now. Actually, in Nigeria, as we talk, we have so many issues of kidnapping. In Cameroon, you can see also so many attacks happening. In literally the West, there is lack of peace, and we're going to be summoned to listen to the same people causing this Hegelian dialectic to bring a solution. I think that makes sense. They're saying at least one person is known to have been killed in an attack claimed by English-speaking separatists in Cameroon troubled Southwest province. I want to understand who are these English-speaking separatists in Cameroon. John Mosquito, could you have any clue of who they are talking about here? At least one person has been killed in an attack of claimed by English-speaking separatists in Cameroon. I mean, is that, let me look, is Cameroon, do we have, let me see the percentage. Let me look at this. Look at this very quickly. Okay. I won't connect this right now. This is just full of tribalism. I just see tribalistic names, what I'm trying to look at, and they're bringing tribalistic names. Shout out to Google for doing an amazing job. You're giving us all the best of the information, Google. But I'll check on that later. I want to see what's the percentage of if maybe the country is taken over completely by some of the white people, Indians, Asians, or this particular, or because we don't know completely what they're talking about. Personally, that is me. I'm trying to understand what the English-speaking separatists in these southwest parts of the province. But they're also adding that several other people are reported to have been injured in the attack that happened on Sunday in the city of Buea. And militants who want to create a breakaway state have been forcing residents to observe so-called ghost town protests designed to bring economic activities to halt. Cameroonian authorities have not commented on this attack that happened on Sunday. It is on Wednesday, and according to the privately owned news website, journalists, country, the name is a French name, say that 5 cars were also burnt and businesses destroyed. So this is actually a total destruction that is happening right here. I'll get into the deep roots of this particular information and what is happening, because this is crazy. I don't know who are literally the southern, the English-speaking separatists here, and why we have an attack happening. So far, so good. At least one person has been injured. I can, as a journalist, I can say that at least one person. I always hate it when they say 100 people have been killed, then they use the term at least, So yeah, at least one person has been killed, but we'll be following much more on this, and I'll be able to report tonight, maybe on the Africa Today show, in case they give us much more of the information. Shout out to Balala Biz, Karibu Sana. I see you say that the French people bordering Nigeria don't speak French. They consider themselves more Nigerian. Okay. All right. That is on which part of are we talking about? Because if we're talking about the bordering of Nigeria, we have Ghana, we have we have so many countries literally surrounding Nigeria. So where specifically are we talking about? And if you're talking about countries that speak French, you can speak of maybe Cameroon, which is not far from Nigeria, and all that. So let me know, what are you talking about kindly. And I also see the Dark Tooth in the building. Karibu sana. Big up to Kevo as well. And shout out to also Saina the Ras. Karibu sana to the conversation of the day. And to everyone with us also on Facebook, on YouTube, on the radio station, let us know how you feel about today's conversation. But we have 9 minutes to getting closer to winding up. And I'd love to hear anyone's closing remarks. And shout out to Brad, Trevor, Karibu sana. You're saying that it's about Cameroon. Okay, so for me, I don't know if you are getting what they're trying to say. Okay, if you're talking about Cameroon, because I can see the journalist name is it's a French name. Why are they attacking each other? Let me tell you, if you look at the West, I think the West Africa part of Africa is really messed up. Apart from the center of it, I mean the DRC and all that. I think the western parts of Africa, as much as we have right now, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, which have completely taken over, and they are now making decisions by themselves. The rest, before they get to realize that we need a revolution, we need a coup d'etat to happen, it's gonna take time. Because this sounds tribalistic. This sounds more of like what happens in the northern part of Kenya. When we see, it's not really a matter of even who speaks what. But there's that hatred that has been fueled on purpose on African people, and it's working, because this is how we end up slicing countries in different regions or different parts. If we're not careful, these small conflicts, we're gonna end up seeing Africa in small pieces. Trust me, we're gonna see the borders we're no longer even gonna see the borders. It's gonna be a dirty field looking map, because it is happening on the ground, and it is crazy. But I see you're saying that the English speaking population have been neglected by the government. Same story in parts of Kenya. Wow. Okay. But conflict is not the way to solve everything. I do understand. This is where now you as a people, you need to come together, sit down, understand that your system has not been serving and working correctly for you. There are people who are being favored. There are people who are getting this and this, and there are people who are not getting anything at all. Having to come and attacking and killing people is not the way to solve a solution or to bring a solution to the problem. It won't. The same thing we see on the eastern parts, the northern parts of Kenya. The same thing you also see on some parts of Sudan. As much as there's a major conflict happening, you'll always see some regions fighting over some things that don't even make sense. While you're supposed to just understand it, so this is a setup, because the politicians who are being used to literally force this fuel and keep on pushing with this, fueling this violence and all that. I mean, perfect example I love to use is with us, Kenya, is Raila. Raila is a very big distraction. As much as you see him as an opposition, or is he telling us this and this? Yes, but what is he doing? He's just here to create a distraction, to make you feel how, and make you understand at the same time, which you don't see. This country is run by tribalism, and this is how tribalism, what it can make you do. These were lack of unity and lack of you having an organization or organizing things how they're supposed to run can literally lead to conflict. That is my understanding, according to me, Balala. I don't know about you, but yes, I do. I understand now what you're speaking about. You're also saying that they feel the government favors the majority French speakers as compared to them. It is crazy. It is crazy. And of course, that cannot happen. That cannot happen. The moment this happens, this is why we're calling for revolution. If unity declines to solve and bring a solution, then this is why civil war is applied. So it is crazy. And I also see you saying that even getting work for the English-speaking population is a problem. I mean, this looks like just an Africa. This is a staged thing. I could, so far, so good understanding. This is an Africa staged thing. that is meant to work like this on purpose. Nothing is supposed to change. The people are supposed to be on the bottom. If you have no connections, I'm so sorry, but your degree, your PhD doesn't serve you. You get people like Gashagwa and so to say, who are going to tell you, hey, after graduating, hell, just know, my friend, there's no jobs. And then top of it, your president tells you, if you want a job, it won't find you. You go apply for the same job, you won't get it. So make that make sense. But a dropout becomes a whole leader who gets to dictate and tell you what to do. It is insane. It is insane. But for me, understanding all this, where once you see, because if I try to look at what you're trying to say here, the French speakers, you'll find that most of these people are invaders. Probably. They are the English speaker, yeah? The English speaking, they feel like the government favors the majority of the French speaker. Exactly. You find the majority of these people are probably invaders. They're not even the original people of Cameroon. There are people who came, settled there, claimed the region, claim to even be the originals because that's what they do everywhere they go. Claim to be the people who started civilization over there. And then they end up getting all the favors than the people who belong truly to the country. And this same situation applies in every African country, where we see Indians, Chinese, all types of races always being favored. But when it comes to us as Africans, we always have to demonstrate to be heard, which barely even works because we're going to end up being killed. You know, we're going to be called terrorists because that's when the media, you know, badges you as terrorists because you're trying to create destruction on the country, where it's all about awareness of what is not being done. So it is crazy, Balala. And you're also saying that even getting work for the English-speaking population is a problem. Yes, I read that, and that is what is really, really going on. It is just up to us as Africans, the indigenous people. However we can, as much as we can, try educate our brothers and sisters, those who have less information about this. You can't save everyone, that's the truth, but you can try save a few. The few you can, let's form unity. I'm certain by the time we come to realize it, we're going to be so many of us, and we're going to call for a revolution. If a coup d'etat cannot happen, then revolution is the way to go. And it won't come so easy. Trust me, we're going to be attacked the same way we can see Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso facing all types of accusations. Oh, you're doing this to the civilians. This decision is going to affect civilians like this. While for so long, civilians have been crying for help. It won't come easy. It will come through a war. It will come through fighting, blood, sweat, tears, and standing on business. That is what basically it is all about. But anyway, we're coming towards the end of today's conversation, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. That has been my debate of today, all about the western parts of Africa, and of course, one news and updates that did come from Ethiopia, which has been literally connected to all the topics of the day. And I'm proud to see that actually so far, Ethiopia has returned its first ever aircraft. But we need to question again. Let's leave that at hand, and we'll continue as we find much more. Why is it that they were returned, or they got this aircraft that was stolen? Because for me, it is stolen in 1935. Right now, that is after they attended the Italy Africa Summit, which you saw President Enroute in it, and the rest of the council could attend. So there's an agenda behind this. There's something that the Ethiopian president has been told to do, is agreed, or is asked for a favor for him to be able to do it, and that is the aircraft being returned back. But we're going to be keeping you updated and much more of what is coming from the African continent. This has been the Wednesday Lockdown Session. Asanteni sana to everyone who has been with us. My name is Joby, and we do this every Wednesday, but from Monday to Friday. We have the Pan-African Bliss, same time, same place. And of course, see you guys later on to Bonge Show. It shall be coming back later, 4 p.m., 3:30 for the Tubonge Show. But next is the African Diary by Katie. So kindly tune in and check out what the debate is all about. Thank you so much, Balala, for being with me. John Mosquito, thank you so much. And I see Balala says the debate has been awesome. Asante sana. I'm glad you enjoyed. Shout out to also Brand Trevor. Thank you so much for tapping the screen for me and for being with me on today's episode. Much love. See you guys later when you will. This is by the one and only again, Young Lunya, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this.
Oh my, nifanye hii kama sifanye tena kujideka. I'm taking what I'm proud to the next levels. Wabeni juli mtoto moto huu haingi kitonga tachokipata ni wifi wanachokifanya katika round here pati hata sale mana nimeza na plan B young king flow zao za kitozi zimekataliwa ni uchafu